In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Snow Pro AK, your snow and ice management company specializing in business and residential properties. They know what it takes to keep your property presentable and safe. Give them a call for a free estimate at 280-7098 or visit lawnproak.com. Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Down two.
I was going to do a little like fake, because I don't have one to crack. What do you have?
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk
You have
about
a can?
that before we go on the air.
Those are supposed to be pretty good.
JJ Watts beer.
I think,
Oh, it is beer though.
No,
Oh, is it ginger beer or something?
it's non-alcoholic.
Okay, keeping your what did you call your January? The what?
dry.
Dry January.
Minus my birthday, which
say, what
is
happened last weekend?
extremely wet. Deep end. That was
We need
deep
dry
end.
snow January. That's what we need.
Yeah.
I was wondering what happened to you and Jamie. You guys just like did the Irish goodbye, man. Just the full disappearance.
Yeah. Yeah.
was like, where'd they go? Well, I guess it's time to go home.
I mean, I would love to tell you exactly what happened, but
okay.
I don't know.
That stays behind closed. Oh, okay.
No,
Not
it's
exactly
not,
sure.
It's just not there.
Maybe it had something to do with the Jaeger
Not behind a
shots.
closed door, open door, nothing. It's just not
It's
there.
in a black room.
That memory is gone.
Dude, that might have something to do with Kyle's little baseball bat.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
Yeah, that
Definitely.
was Curtin's.
It's always Kyle, dude.
Welcome to Alaska Wild Project, episode 99. Tonight we are in the Palmer Alehouse. We are live with our homies Brandon, Jack,
What up?
Chad, and we will have on our guy Dave Johnson from the BHA chair, as well as Adam from Fish Pond. A couple of things before we go. If you guys have not purchased one of the BHA beers, they are for sale, and that is an entry for the raffle ticket. If you want to sign up, you can go directly to James over there in the green shirt, green sweater. You can put your phone to the little tag there and get the beer, and for the raffle to be entry. Also, the first 15 people that sign up for BHA this evening, or if you already signed up this week, go ahead and give James your email. You will receive 1 year subscription to Onyx. How's the audio? Can you guys hear?
Everybody, you can hear it?
Sweet.
Okay, good.
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 Yeah, it has a weird kind of bounce back.
A big thank you also to the brew house over there, Bear Paw, for brewing up the Sky is Cracked BHA Amber Ale, which is delicious. With that purchase of that beer, you also receive a raffle ticket. So some of the stuff that's going to be given away tonight is the Fish Hound Expedition, full day float for 2 in the Willow area. We have an NRS Chinook PFD, Mystery Ranch $250 credit, a Fish Pond $400 credit, a Grundon's $400 credit, and once again, the first 15 people to sign up for BHA will get the 1 year subscription. If you need any more info on that, go see James at the table there and get signed up for that.
It's a good deal. $35, and you get free Onyx, which is $99. So.
Well, in the subscription, BHA, you get the newsletters, you get a T-shirt out of the deal.
You get to support
And it's a good
public
cause.
land.
That's
That's
right.
it, man. Totally.
Keep it public.
Well, I think that is the most important thing. Like, I mean, it's cool to receive some gifts and drink some cool beers and stuff like that, but it's also in the benefit of not only ourselves, but our children and our children's children as well.
Yeah. We don't want to be Texas, which is like 96% privately owned.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the drive out. It's
crazy.
You know, just about, like, in general, what BHA represents and the idea that, so we were kind of talking about the No Road to Ambler movement, as we got the hoodies freshly custom made for the event tonight. And it was like, how the hell can you have taxpayers pay for something to get built that we can't access? Like, that doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do it all the time.
Well, no, they do, but I'm just saying in general, we talk about like the future of you keep on doing that.
Yeah.
Then our kids don't get to access shit no more.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's, it's just like a no-brainer, man. You look at how much things have changed since we were kids, and then our parents and the folks before us talk about it the way it was. Just give it another 40 years, and
Oh,
we don't want this place blown open like that.
No, they'll take it all. If you let them, they'll take it all.
That's it.
And you made a good point earlier. Just because it's backcountry hunters and anglers doesn't mean that it's only for people that are hunting and for fishing. It's people that are hiking, people that are trapping, people that are skiing, people that are snowboarding, people that are just out there enjoying the wilderness.
ATVs and off-road. I mean, it goes all the way around.
Well,
Anyone that wants to enjoy Earth, we should all have that right to enjoy the Earth that we live on.
Yeah. They're public land advocacy group.
Yeah.
Not
That's
just hunters and anglers. It's just fits in the name.
Keep wildland wild.
Keep wildlands wild. There you go. So BHA will be having a series of pint nights. I want to say this is maybe the second or third one this year, with plans to do probably one a month, I think James was saying.
Yeah.
And so the next one, he's looking at Bleeding Heart and some of the ones in Anchorage. And I'm assuming they're going to do stuff in Fairbanks, Double Shovel Cider and Kodiak. We were talking to him about
Kenai
doing one.
Peninsula, I think we're talking about too.
Yep. So all over the state where all these awesome breweries and people are brewing up all this cool stuff, it'd be good to do stuff so that people that are in these outside areas are not having to drive all the way to Palmer or Anchorage to enjoy one of these events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a large, group and population of people in those areas that are willing to support this this movement too. So
Absolutely.
be easier for us to go to them.
Is there a brewery like in Sitka
Yeah, there was. I think it closed down, but we went there
to the
when we
brewery?
were down on that deer hunt. Yeah. What was it called? Anyway, I think they closed down.
Like the deer hunt?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
The unreleased podcast story. Yeah. Shitka.
Join our patreon.com/Alaska Wild Project. You might get that story.
Yeah.
You might hear the shit.
We might have to re-record that again.
And that's no disrespect to Sitka as a community. Wonderful, beautiful place. There just happened to be an experience in the general area that made it a little bit on the shitty side.
Yeah, it was a shitty experience for sure. Yeah. Sitka's a wonderful place, man. Oh, I'd love to
I always want to
Sitka.
make sure that I emphasize that part because it wasn't to be misrepresented.
Let's get that background information out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I didn't want to go on a boat for a year after that trip.
Didn't you buy a boat just the next year?
It was like a year after that.
Okay.
Yeah. But lots
Had
of
to
Coast
shake-
Guard
had to shake
inspections and lots of stuff going on after that. Yeah, I got like this nerdy checklist, and we're not gonna have those problems out there.
Make sure everything's nice and square. And
Sounds like the Winter King Derby to me.
Yeah, my dinghy hasn't sunk yet, so
Well, I think it's important to have some of those experiences where things don't go 100% the way you think it's going to go, that you can realize maybe what type of fault you had or what type of gear didn't work or you forgot or some safety thing that maybe you thought that you had covered and you were always ready for it, but then you realize you're not.
It's a learning experience, and it also gives you the confidence to deal with a real shitty situation when that will present itself, and if it's not your group, to help another group, and act cool, act quick. In the field, that's so important. So, we were blessed for that situation. It really sucked, and I think that year I was given a tuna fishing trip for my birthday in Hawaii, and I wouldn't get on the boat. So, with James Miller. Yeah, I know. They caught all my fish for me.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, it sounds like Winter King Derby was my experience there with James's boat taking on water.
Oh yeah,
steering went out.
Yeah,
everything.
Grabbed the
downriggers broke. Everything went wrong.
Sometimes you just got to go to shore.
We had in straight lines because there was no steering when you're under power. Literally, go straight until you can't turn, and then we'll turn.
That's right.
With the oar.
Nightmare. Yeah, nightmare.
Is it all fixed up for this year?
I believe so. I don't know. I was hoping to get invited on a different boat, to be honest.
So did they move it up to better fishing, or no? Is it still later?
Yeah, no, it's in March now.
Yeah, all right. They moved it up. Yeah.
They moved it up like an entire month.
Oh, they did?
I think, too, they're original time. It used to be in March.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Like where it was
I thought
it
was in February. I thought it used to be in February.
I always thought
No, I think a long time ago when it first started. Well, I don't know when it first started, but it was in February. And now, let me look at the calendar. Oh, I thought I had it written down here.
It's like 3 weeks. They moved it up like 3 weeks, right?
Okay.
When was it? Middle of April?
Yeah, now I want to say it's March
I got it. I'll look it up.
17th. Yeah, I think it's. Let me just triple check for the
I want to
listeners.
do it in December.
Yeah, March. It's March
good.
18th.
When there's like 4 hours of daylight.
And when all the good fishing is.
So the week before the meat party.
Right.
Yes.
Before the meat party, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Because the meat party is the 25th.
Yeah.
Which is the weekend before the Ash Cup?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. As we were doing the calendar at home, Alexis like it's filling up. I said it is. You better put something down on there.
Then SCI, when's that?
SCI.
It's the
March
22nd of April.
That one's late in April.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I got we put an event checklist on our master note, and
There's too many events.
March is like super crammed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a lot. We got the sheep banquet, Winter King Derby meat party. Is there a little bit of feedback going on?
I think it's just for us. It sounds good over there.
okay.
I think if you just back
It's
up
good?
a little
Okay.
bit from it.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not
so
hearing
much.
it. Must be.
Because hear that like. Oh yeah, there it is, big time. Yeah.
Hot mic.
Is that,
There you go.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Getting
Yeah.
warmed up.
We'll find the. Well, it was. I think it's louder than maybe we thought it was going to be in here, isn't it? Maybe a little bit.
A lot of it.
I know. I'm looking around like all the tables are full. Holy shit! Everybody showed up.
I think we went like 10 notches where we originally thought it was going to
Like
be.
yeah, that sounds.
I
good,
actually
man.
think if we lower it over there a hair, we'll be able to turn this.
on the speaker.
Yeah.
We can turn this up.
But as long as it's not feedback and
I don't hear it out there.
Listeners.
yeah, it's only in our ears, which we can hang out. Oh, there's Niedermeyer. Right on. Really good crowd today. Thank you for everyone for coming out.
Absolutely.
Oh no, that's not Niedermeyer. That's a different James. There's so many Jameses.
There's a lot of Jameses, a lot of Daves here. I'm trying to keep up, man.
It might be his Doppler though.
I think
No, doppelganger.
it is. Is it his doppelganger?
Yeah, I
Look
think
at him.
so. It's pretty
It
close.
is his doppelganger.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
That
Everybody's
is.
got
No, that's
one.
the other James.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jason. It's,
Jason. Jason?
yeah.
Oh, that's Jason. Wow.
Yeah. Might as well be
guys lost-
Jays.
you guys
There's
lost
so
me,
many
man.
Jays.
I swear all the BHA boys have the same name.
Brad, Dave, James.
Yeah. I talked to Niedermeyer on the way out, so I would be like, "Oh, what? You're following me in the car?"
You showed up here, bro?
Have you been to the Timeout Lounge ever?
Where is the Timeout Lounge?
It is on Tudor
Seward.
and Old Seward.
Right next to the
Glad you brought that
dealership,
up.
the Jeep dealership. Or old
No,
Jeep
I have
dealership.
not been to a
Tudor and
Timeout
Old
Lounge.
Seward on the left side going
Missing
north.
out.
The average age is 76.
What?
And these people are
Jack.
partying.
Really? Is there a
And
buffet
dancing.
in there? Is it a place that has like prime rib Sunday?
Oh, I could see that happening in there.
Maybe.
Taco,
They
like
might.
a Taco Tuesday, prime rib
I
Sunday
mean,
type
Oh
of
yeah.
If you want to be the young guy at the bar,
Nice.
like I'm 44, I felt like the super
It's the
young
opposite
guy.
of S Street. Now.
They're like, you got some color on that
was.
beard.
I was like, this is the senior center pioneer, dude.
Oh man, that's cool.
That's
So-
what it was.
Do they have a bowl?
Wait, what's that?
They have a bowl?
A bowl?
You know, a mechanical bowl.
Oh,
Oh, man. Maybe one day
No,
they
it's
did.
classy.
I don't know.
It's
It is?
classy.
No,
there.
it was classy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
Well-
like super clean dive bar.
Wow.
So Saturday,
Everyone is like unbelievably nice
Saturday we celebrated Chad's 39th birthday.
All right.
And
for the 10th time.
and we're at the restaurant. Hey, let's go to the Timeout. I'm like, oh, cool, man. I've never been there. That sounds great. Like it's a not prestigious. It's just a kind of a legendary Anchorage bar, right?
All right.
We roll in there and I'm like, it's like 65 and up. Like everybody in there. And I'm like, oh,
This is where you wanted to go?
My wife picked it. It was a good call too.
dude. So
Yeah.
live
Yeah, it
band
was a
shows
good
up.
call.
Oh, really?
And then the bar just
It's like
fills up.
swing music or?
No, they had a mix. I mean, Country Road was
Oh,
on.
nice, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, they had they were like a
There was some
Hawaiian
pop
band
in there,
They
yeah,
were a
there
Hawaiian
was-
band that was playing like. They played everything, but they had like a little bit of a Hawaiian.
Was it like H3?
H4.
It wasn't H. It was like H4.
I think I even heard Creedence Clearwater. Like they
right on.
were cranking.
It
Anyway,
was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
to go into a bar you haven't really been to before, and you think you've been to them all, and you go in there, and the bouncer's like the nicest guy you've ever met. The bartender, like the vibe in there, everybody's polite and kind.
Yeah.
And like not that cockstrong, like
Is it like
egomaniac,
secretly
like,
a Midwest bar then?
I could be.
Yeah, maybe.
I ordered 5 drinks.
Did they all have Viking hats?
It was
and
$26.
crackers? Oh, really?
5
It's
drinks.
like reasonably priced too.
I mean, I'm talking like vodka sodas,
It's like a
tequilas,
time
beers.
capsule, man. It was
Wow.
like
I want to go check this place out now.
No,
Dude,
it was
it was-
legit.
It's a good spot.
Old dudes are
was.
dancing, ladies are like winking at you, like old grandmas.
Yeah.
Alexia got asked to dance by like 3 dudes.
Awesome.
All 80.
Did she go?
Yeah.
oh yeah, she did.
Nice.
She made their night, dude.
He's like taking pictures with her.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
My
he
boy,
was taking pictures.
Billy
like, wait,
Crumb
wait,
and his girl like stayed till 3 a.m.
Oh, really?
They were like sending me and my wife photos with like random people like till 3 a.m.
That's awesome.
Just closed it down.
Yeah, totally. They closed it down.
It was just ultimately, it was really refreshing to go to a place where, you didn't like bump into somebody and they were like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
And it was like everybody was polite and kind and nice, and it felt safe. Not that bars don't feel safe. It just felt like, it was just a really refreshing experience, man, for a bar experience.
Yeah.
And I was really just the whole time I was like,
dirty bar.
Yeah.
Normally that's like, okay, we might get in a fight, but it'll be fun. And it was like, not
you can
that.
feel the energy. Yeah.
Like the security, we were outside like smoking, like right by the door, and he's like, hey, you guys can't really smoke here. But I was like, oh, is there somewhere we should go? He's like, yeah, just around the corner here. He was like super polite about it. He went and like checked to make sure the alley was like safe for us before we went back there.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. It was good stuff.
That was a good question though, because I wanted to talk about that so bad. It's like that was like a really fun time, man. We need to talk about that. It needs to be known.
I guess now when you get older, we a bunch of 21-year-olds there.
Now it'll get ruined.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of 21-year-olds listen to our podcast.
Time out. No vacancy.
I think we're good.
That's a good point. Our demographic isn't quite clear in our analytics.
Right.
Like, we know where people are listening from, as far as like all around the world and the country, but it never.
It doesn't. It's 25 to like 40.
Oh, it's really broad.
Yeah, it's
But
25 to 80.
That's not young to you.
Yeah, it is.
25
It
to
is.
40.
Yeah, it is.
The 21, not 21 though. So they're not listening. You guys stay
Keep
at the
those
PIO.
guys out of there.
No, they're not in the outdoors yet. They're at the
No, they're
PIO.
not.
And
That's
They're
right.
taking
They're
a
hunting other
break.
things. They're hunting other things. They'll get into hunting at about 28.
when they start getting hangovers.
Yeah.
So I think I was like 35 before I had one.
Oh, man.
Dan, we had all sorts of ambitions of going ice fishing yesterday too.
Oh, I
They're
didn't.
like, yeah, we'll go by like 1. Like we'll be up and ready by 1. I didn't hear from you. I was like, thank God, please don't reach out. Like, on my way to Sand Lake, I would be like, oh yeah. I'm like, I'm nursing a headache, laying on Rena's lap, and she's like rubbing my head.
I was planning on snowboarding. Nope.
Didn't happen, did it?
No. I didn't even think about it. Didn't even cross my mind.
Oh yeah, no,
I was
it
like,
wasn't happening.
I bet it's not a POW day. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of great venues, thank you to the Palmer Alehouse for having us out here. It's one of those places that when you're on your way back from some sort of adventure on the Glen Highway, whether you're up by Paxton or Valdez or even further, Eureka out there, it's one of those places that you're trying to hit up on the way back. I think Jack and I on our sheep hunt or our caribou hunt or something on the way.
Sheep.
Yeah, we tried to come back, and it was just, they must have had a concert or something going on.
Yeah.
It was just packed. There was like no way we could get in here. But it kind of reminds me of one of those places like Eureka Lodge,
Sheep Creek
Lodge. One of those places that you want to hit up on the way back from wherever it is that you're out. And you're always in like some kind of dirty boots and like underwear you had on for 4 days, and you're just okay to come in here and have a beer and eat some good food.
One of my favorite Saturdays is to, like these unplanned Saturdays in the summer, is just come out here and do Lazy Mountain. I don't know if you ever done Lazy Mountain. It's
Absolutely.
Stay on the left side, don't do the moose one, but go up straight up the steep part, and it's really nice. But plan it around the nights they have live music here, which is usually like every Saturday. And you come grab pizza or whatever afterwards. It's great. It's just like such a chill Saturday compared to our normal weekend warrior Saturdays, and it's worth it.
It is, yeah. We had a really cool meeting with the Coreys. Corey, the owner here, and GM Corey, gracious host, and invited us in with open arms. And their emphasis really was heavy on like the local community, such as this event. To promote community togetherness and the live music, bringing people together here.
Yeah, it's a good venue.
That's the point. And we were talking about this before we got on tonight. Chad and I's kind of like breakthrough first time we ever hung out really was on a sheep hunt.
Yeah.
And we went up, got our sheep, had a hell of an adventure, and on our way back, I was like, man, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Let's go eat something. So let's go to the Palmer Alehouse. Sure enough, we stumbled right in here. I don't know. We ate way more food than you probably would normally eat.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty normal what I eat. That's probably more than what you normally eat.
Well, after you've eaten, freeze-dried food.
No, we weren't.
Oh, you guys
we
were
did pretty
Razor,
good.
bro.
We did pretty good.
We weren't having freeze-dried anything.
We were
Pork
eating
loin.
food.
And,
We ate
I
great.
think it was at least like sandwiches, Miller Lights, and like spicy noodle bowls.
That
we were
sheep
still.
hunt is not a normal sheep hunt.
No.
No
But-
jet boil going on. No,
But
straight up.
to Daniel's point, though, man, it was like to roll in here with the razor on the trailer muddy, with the bloody ram sticking out. We popped in here for some pizza and breadsticks. It was amazing, man. It was
Is
awesome.
that Freshie? Freshie coming with the BHA mugs?
Oh, they had those at Anchorage Brewing when
Oh,
they were there.
nice.
Those are
Nice,
money.
dude.
It's like the classic old school cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
the
it
Upper
is.
Huffman mug.
Yeah, it is.
It
Right
is.
on, nice.
It looks
I like that
metal,
orange.
but it's glass. Is that the
That-
the
no,
supposed to
that's-
be the
No,
look?
I think those
Yeah,
are metal,
that's
but
a
like that ceramic coating on
Oh,
them.
there's our metal ones.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit, like the old cowboy coffee.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it looks
Nice.
the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks
we
very
tried.
similar.
We tried to sandblast the metal ones like that, and then they get all rusty.
Oh,
It's
did they?
pretty rad, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
look really super rustic.
Yeah, that's all we got on the boat are those old ones like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
They're
That's
pretty cool.
nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of coming back, I spotted the main waitress that you see at Eureka Lodge, the
Oh,
blonde lady.
yeah.
She was in here eating.
Nice.
When we were setting up, I was like, man, this has got to be legit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She
She's
too.
in here.
She looked at me and I looked at her. I was like, we know each other, but she
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
seen a lot of dirty dudes come through there.
She was like
Yeah. Should've
blueberry
had
pie.
Tangy with us today.
Blueberry pie and a Eureka burger. Yeah, I know you.
Is that the most blown up bathroom?
I would say the hub.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
good
The
call.
hub is like
The hub.
Yeah.
like the hub is so blown up. They have outhouses.
Yeah. There's lines
Also.
for the lines.
And there's
yeah.
lines for those. Yes, that's
Yeah.
blown up.
All right.
And maybe Girdwood.
Yeah. Girdwood's pretty good.
gas
too.
station.
Second.
Shit. Well,
Yeah.
Girdwood is because the hub. I don't think it's just like a single use.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
hub probably
yeah.
sees more traffic.
But
And those, like,
Girdwood's
truckers.
multiple. You can use
Yeah.
a urinal and a toilet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girdwood's like tourists. The hub is like truckers.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Girdwood,
God.
dude.
Real
If you
blown
need
up.
to go there, you just go get a piece of pizza and go and coast. You know, like
Okay,
that's
yeah,
like
true
you
that.
gotta
make
you
a
don't
purchase.
use that one. You know,
Gotta
It's
make a
like,
purchase.
eat
Oh
the
my
pizza, eat
God,
the
dude.
slice, the pre-made slice.
I love the Eureka Lodge though. If you know when you walk out of the bathroom in the hallway, there's the picture of the trucker. Like it's a classic painting of the
Yeah,
trucker in
yeah,
the woods.
yeah, yeah.
There's a black bear that stands up and he's like running back to his truck
Yeah.
with his like toilet paper and his pants halfway down. And then the other one next to it is the dude sitting in his in his cabin, going to the bathroom, and the bear like smashes the door down. He's like naked sitting on the toilet.
We got some good stuff.
I like that trophy room in there too. It's always nice.
Oh,
to
that is
walk in.
that's legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that one's nice. You got a beautiful Wolverine in there.
I think it's time for a quick little break, and we're going to come back with Dave Johnson from BHA. Hopefully he's done eating.
Oh, is he still eating pizza? Might be.
Where's he at there? Oh, he's ready. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be right back.
Barney Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. Barney specializes in supplying hunters with the absolute best Alaskan-proven gear on the market for some of nature's most rugged and demanding terrain. Whether you're headed to the remote volcanic islands of the Alaska Peninsula in search of a brown bear, or the shale-infested glacial valleys of the Brooks Range for Dall sheep, it is critical you choose the right gear for your dream hunt. Don't miss Barney's exclusive brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska, tested from the high mountains of Tajikistan to the extreme conditions of Alaska. These products were designed for high performance and durability. Frontier Gear was derived from decades of experience hunting big game in Alaska. Paired with other top brands, it provides you the absolute best gear selection anywhere in the world. Stop in at Barney's Sports Chalet in Anchorage on Northern Lights, or check out their custom website and reference tool at barneysports.com.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaska public lands, waters, and wildlife. From national level policy work to engagement with boots on the ground projects from Kotzebue to Ketchikan, BHA performs public land cleanups, hunting and fishing clinics, and community education to help take your game to the next level. BHA's community-minded goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping wildlands wild and fostering the next generation of sportsmen and women for years to come. Make sure to follow BHA Alaska for upcoming events, local brewery pint nights, and more. Stand up for Alaska public lands and waters by supporting the Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Join us today at backcountryhunters.org.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. Be sure to ask the bud tender about their deal of the day, because honestly, there's always something good on deck. And guys, listen, this is where the culture lives. At the Treehouse, their dedication to servicing consumers has been developed through a lifetime of involvement in the cannabis culture. They're committed to providing the highest quality products at whatever value your budget affords, while always maintaining the deep-rooted principles that have carried them this far. Their focus is on relationships over transactions, and you can always depend on them to treat you with the respect you deserve. Hit them up at thetreehouseak.com, and remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience. At Total Truck, you can find brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Front Runner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Linings bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Alaska Overlander provides 4x4 vehicles and expedition trailers custom modified for Alaskan adventures and outfitted with rooftop tents, fridges, and all the camping and cooking gear you need to start exploring. Visit them at alaskaoverlander.com.
Yeah.
It looks like they didn't get the 2-point conversion. Still 24-6.
All right, guys, we're back here. Dave, thanks for coming on.
Hey,
Welcome,
thanks for having me, guys.
Hell yeah.
Good to be here.
Did you get some chow?
Well, I didn't know exactly what the food format was going to be here, so I had a big late lunch.
Oh, you had a big late lunch.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we came in Base Shack in the house. What's up? What's up, Dustin? Come here.
Hey, last time I saw this man, I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man? We like, shit.
Was that dropping off your kid or?
At school. It was only 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's early.
Mission.
It's
I
early.
got 2 Vikings and those kids, like, it's just like me zoned into them, like, we're getting you into school on time. You're not going to beat any other kids up. You're going to treat everyone with respect. I don't see anyone else.
Hey, Daniel, man, I said, yo, man, I'm going to go home, man. What's up, man?
There's a little feedback in ours. It's not really on the outside, though.
Is that what it is? Okay, good.
Yeah, it's just in our headphones.
Better us than them, right?
Yeah, well, that's what we were hoping. And then the recording, we'll see how it goes. Might be a little extra on the editing.
Yeah.
That's what you get the big bucks for, right?
That's it, man. Yeah, something like
the
that.
check's on the way.
Yeah. they've been saying that for a couple of years now.
As I was researching you, Dave, I didn't realize that you are the harbor master, the boat harbor master in Kodiak.
Yep.
And I just imagine that you must have seen or been called to the most ridiculous things that have happened in that harbor or in that ramp. Anyone that spends any kind of time in any kind of ramp, and you just witness people that don't know how to back up a trailer, don't know how to attach the trailer, coming in hot. There's people things. I was wondering if you could enlighten us with one of the stories maybe that you've seen.
There's never a dull day at the harbor. And one of the things I love about the job, right, is that every single day is going to be a giant dose of crazy, and it's never the same dose twice.
Oh, my God.
We had a kid, whatever he was partaking in that day, he decided that full tilt boogie on his F-250 straight forward off the rocks into the bay was the way to go.
Oh, man.
So, this story gets better. So this kid swims out of his truck, climbs up the rocks, starts walking back towards town. Witnesses called this in. He paused, went back down, swam back into the truck, grabbed a bag out of it, and then walked away.
He's like, wait a minute, that thing I was actually working on, I forgot that.
It's a really big school project, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was, this science project.
I mean, like, the police department pretty much followed the wet footprints to arrest the guy, but yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he got arrested.
Oh, yeah.
You're not allowed to throw your truck into the ocean?
Generally speaking, yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be some sort of an investigation following something like that. They end up getting the truck out of there?
They did. It was actually, we've got a local company called Highmark Marine that does amazing work. And
recovery type?
Yeah, they do boat salvage and stuff. They brought out the big, it was kind of fun, right? You've seen, how many times in your life have you seen a truck tow a boat?
Yeah.
Ever seen a boat tow a truck?
Other way around.
So they filled it with these float bags. Yeah, so they filled it with float bags. Pumped them full of air, floated the truck, tied a couple lines, and towed it to the launch ramp and pulled it out with a.
Is that how they did it?
That's awesome.
I wondered. I always had envisioned they'd like have a crane type thing on a barge that would like reach in, grab it, and like plop it. That's what I was envisioning, but.
Yeah, this was a lot faster. I mean, we had that thing out of the water in like 4 hours between the harbor skiff and their work. And
they had divers that went down and actually. That's
how they recover boats in Prince William Sound too. They airbags.
Float them up. Yeah,
he gave us the city discount. It still wasn't cheap.
It wasn't cheap.
Was that over on like the city side or the small boat side, or?
It was on this what we call the spit right there, where the jetties are going into the city sides.
Yeah. Okay.
And is it that often that someone's actually like launching a boat on a trailer though?
Not in Kodiak.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. Like Homer, Seward, Whittier, you got like that weekend warriors that are dunking it. But Kodiak, I'm imagining you put your boat in there, it stays in a slip most of the time. Or
we've got a lot of wreck boaters. Nothing compared to like Whittier, Homer, Seward.
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more entertaining than sitting at the Homer boat launch and watching what happens.
Have you ever been to Whittier's?
I haven't.
It's a shit show.
Man, that one's pretty interesting.
Sunday at 4:30.
Yeah, Homer releases what three? Well, I guess Whittier's 3 lanes too, but it's you get that wind coming in off the mountain, and a lot of people with bigger boats than they know what to handle.
Yeah.
It gets a little contentious.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
We used to always call that all dollars, no cents.
That's funny.
That's it. How long have you been doing that job?
I've only been in it going on a year now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just under a year, yeah.
And I overheard earlier tonight you mentioned you just got yourself a nice boat.
Yeah,
got into a big boat.
Yeah. Got I got a 28-foot Kingfisher. It's a perfect boat for Kodiak. I can get it all the way around the other side of the island, go deer hunting in the fall, and
beautiful.
It's it's amazing. It's we had our first boat, and it had like that weird, awkward forward head, and I've got a wife and daughter, and they hated it.
Yeah.
They hated going in the 5-gallon bucket. So when we decided to upgrade, there was 2 requirements. I said I wanted aft steering because I hated sitting up front on nice days. Everybody's out on the back having a beer. And
thanks, Boomer.
Yeah.
Sitting there like, hey, hope you guys are having fun back there.
Yeah, you can't hear anything, and
trolling's going well.
It's sunny.
Exactly.
Bluebird day.
So they wanted a stand-up head, so that was
nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, and it makes for really good storage too, doesn't it?
Fishing pole
hanging
storage.
rain jackets and fishing poles, and you can lock it all up in there. Yeah, that's a game changer, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's I can sleep 5 adults on it pretty comfortably.
So with the crab season out in the Bering close, it sounds like the deadliest catch is coming to you.
They are, yeah. We've got hopefully, right? Like they've got the largest tanner crab quota since '86 in Kodiak right now, but the fishermen are banded together, and I give them credit. They're holding out for prices because last year they were getting $8 a pound for those tanners, and now they're getting offered $2.50.
Okay.
So it's at that point the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Right.
They're sitting tight.
So the boats are there ready to go.
They're all ready to go, but I think 150 something boats are planning on participating in the fishery or still at the docks.
So in December when I was out there at night, I saw a lot of crab boats dunking pots. Were they just like testing? What's going on with that?
They're allowed to do test sets.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that way that when they go out, they can, some of these guys got it wired pretty tight. They can go fill their quota in like a week.
Yeah. They got the right spots. We did set some traps, and we did get some pots, and we did get some tanners.
Yeah, we did the same on my hunt in December.
Nice.
It was
pretty good.
Now, how long is like a soak on something like that compared to say shrimping for spot ponds? Like, is it what Is it similar style or?
So for the commercial guys, I couldn't say. Like we would set pots for our hunt. Just kind of. It was really working around the hunt more than soaking,
yeah.
right? Like we'd set the pots when we had time, go hunt for the day, and then maybe if we were changing spots, we'd go pick up the pots and see how we did.
Okay, there was no like just 24 hours, 12 hours.
It's when it works out because that you're usually like moving. At least like from my experience, it's when you're moving between spots.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't want to just go out to where I guess sometimes you could set them inside some days that you're going to hunt in, but it was like moving in between spots for us. So it was like 12 hours or like 2 days,
Okay, depending. Yeah. Gotcha.
I always found that it was odd, or maybe, I guess odd is the word, that you need a license to drive a car, you need a license to drive a motorcycle, you need a permit to learn how to drive these things, but you can go out and spend a whole bunch of money, $100,000 on a nice boat, and you don't need any type of license or any type of permit for that.
Right.
Which is insane.
It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In my previous life, I saw the consequences of that daily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into that because you were in the Coast Guard, correct?
I was, a little over 20 years.
A little over 20. Was that in Kodiak?
About 8 of it.
Oh, about 8 of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And were you? I know that you're a helicopter pilot as well. Was that in the Coast Guard or was that previous?
That was in the Coast Guard.
That was in the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Did you learn to fly before you joined the Coast Guard, or was that something you joined and then they're like, we're going to send you to flight school?
Right. So the Coast Guard sends their pilot candidates to the Navy's flight school down in Pensacola, Florida, and then you learn the Navy teaches you to fly for about a year and a half, and then you go to a Coast Guard course of like 2 to 3 months, depending on the airframe, to teach you how to fly the specific aircraft you're going to fly in the Coast Guard.
Okay. And were you an A student?
Academically, I got in a little bit of trouble in flight school a few times. So it was it's a little different. The Navy kids go right from like college straight into their flight school. I'd been on an icebreaker down in Antarctica for the last 2 years. So when I got to Pensacola, I was kind of ready to cut loose a bit. And didn't really align with what they had in mind. So took a little. I had to kind of reel myself in, but got through it.
Were you the type of pilot that the other guys were happy to be flying with that day in the storm, or were they?
I'd like to think so. Yeah, I think there are probably a lot of guys out there who flew a lot better than me. But I always, I guess, took a lot of pride in like making good decisions. Because that's what you can control, right? Like you spend an extra 10 minutes planning it out. You don't have to worry about running out of fuel. And that was what I always tried to teach people when I was an instructor too. Was like, it's usually not as big of an emergency as you think it is. You can always give yourself a couple more minutes to plan.
Yeah. Matt Manfredi was an engineer. We were talking about him earlier. He on one of those choppers, and for his whole Coast Guard experience. He was out there for 12 years, and he would tell stories about like there were certain crews that you're like, yes, I'm with you through this shit, and we're gonna go through a lot more shit. And then there's other days you're like, damn it.
Well, and I think, I could go on about it, right? But you look at the whole military construct and how it goes back to, Revolutionary War era, and you're talking like where you had your officer corps that all had college degrees, and you had your enlisted side, which like back then, they were illiterate, right? Like they'd literally put an X for their pay stubs. And some of that tradition holds over, unfortunately.
Right.
And so you get guys who like, I always said, there are days where you're told to do something and it's going to suck. But if it's safe, you go do it. And, I always found I had a lot more success by telling my crew, like, hey guys, today's a shit sandwich and we're all going to have to take a bite.
Right.
Rather than the whole, hey guys, this is a really important mission and we're going to do, like, they see through that shit.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Everybody's smart.
Yeah.
Right? I've worked with so many guys from all ranks who have like master's degrees and stuff. And you're not fooling them.
No,
not at all.
And it's like such a cool way to see Alaska. A lot of times you didn't know where you're going to be going, and you it's like hunting where like you're out there for the day and you don't know what route you're going to end up taking and how your day is going to go, and that's how it was, in the Coast Guard. But you got to see like some rad parts of Alaska. What's some of like the coolest things that you've seen from there?
Flying in between the Diomedes. Is pretty cool. Like there was a Russian Navy boat right on their side of the line, and I was flying right on our side of the line. Right. That's just pretty a surreal experience.
Yeah.
You know, flying the west coast of Alaska, you see, you know, walruses, seals.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen hundreds of porpoises all at once, just boom in the streets there out by Dutch. It's you know, I always thought like high school sports in Alaska was the best way to see the state.
Yeah.
But then like all the parts of the state I didn't see.
Yep.
You can move that over.
I saw on the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Yeah.
Did you ever get
really unique stuff?
fly over the Valley of 10,000 Smokes?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is
would've
an
been pretty
amazing
rad.
flight.
Yeah.
Where is that?
That's where the that big volcanic eruption in like 1918 was.
On the chain?
Well, it's on the peninsula before the chain
It's like
starts.
southwest of Lake Clark.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
There's places where like the ash is still like 1,000 feet deep or something.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like when the wind blows strong out of the west, Kodiak has to shut down its airport because ash from 104 years ago gets
It blows
resuspended.
off the top.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It compacted so much, but there's still a surface dust that comes over. That's crazy. man.
It's wild over there.
I'll
That
bet,
is wild.
man. What was it like living in what's it like living in Kodiak? Like what? Just the culture, the lifestyle, the community itself. Like what? I love that place.
Me too.
And I just visited it, and I'm like, man, I could live here, but like when you do live there, what is it like? Because it's different when you visit and you say you live at a place versus actually living there every day.
I think honestly, I'd say Kodiak sucks, and nobody ever should move there.
Yeah, stay away.
Yeah.
Nobody else should come to Kodiak.
That's
It's
you
enough
know,
people there.
No, it's
That's what the locals kept telling me. They're like, you don't want to live here. I'm like, oh, okay.
it is, you know, Kodiak's amazing. I love it. It's it reminds me so much of Seward when I was a kid. You know, commercial fishing town, still rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Alaska like it was when we grew up. So
Sure. And it's still got really cool, unique backcountry. Like, it's like Jurassic Park, man. It is just a different place.
Yeah, my favorite, like one of my favorite deer hunting spots is a 8-minute drive from my house.
Yeah, go
And
figure.
it's like a 5-mile hike in, and I'm up on top of the. It's called Devil's Peaks, and I'm walking a ridgeline. I got deer on both sides.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
And that's Kodiak, man.
The access is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, and I took a trip there years back, and I didn't realize that there was a missile defense silo there. I never went to a spot where I saw cattle, I saw bison, I saw elk, deer, bear, and guys surfing. I was like, what is going on? All in
Surfers
one day.
Beach?
Yeah.
All in one day. I saw all this stuff, and I'm like, where else in the world do you go where you see something like this? And it was in the end of November.
Yeah.
You know? And you wouldn't have been able to tell what time of year it was by my photos. Right. You know? Because it was like, you could have fooled anybody. It was the end of August or January.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there wasn't a lot of snow, so that was a giveaway. But the uniqueness of what I was able to experience in such a small window of what I saw made it one of the more unique places in Alaska I've ever been.
No, it's, you know, and that's like I jokingly said it sucks, right? Because, you know, like word's getting out on certain things. Like, where else in North America can you get an over-the-counter mountain goat tag?
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
right.
and so, secret's out a bit, but that's all right. It's good for the local economy, and as long as we as a community kind of embrace it and figure out how to make it work for us instead of put our heads in the sand and pretend like that's not happening and get run over by it, we'll be good.
Well, that and like let's not like sugarcoat it. It's not easy.
No, that's true.
Okay, it's not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go just run it over there and go bag an animal. No, it will eat you up and spit you out. You think you're gonna set up a base camp somewhere, a weather system will come out and blow that thing all to hell, and you're calling the Coast Guard, like that. So. Just to make sure.
Like, I'd rather die than have to get rescued by the people I work with.
I just mean, and just put it into perspective, like, for anybody to think they're just going to come to a place and it's just going to be an easy peasy hunt, even though the access is great, it should never be disrespected as far as what the elements can bring and the truth of what that means.
It's harsh.
Every
It's
hunter
very
safety
harsh.
course I do, I talk about that and how if you don't have some, like just a bivvy or something, like I was on a hunt on the south end of the island a few years ago, and long story, short version is we got put right on top of a salmon stream right at the very, very end of the run.
Oh, yeah.
In late November, and the bears were hungry.
Yeah.
They did not want us there. Had our bear fence there, hitting it every night, getting pissed at us for being there.
Yeah.
So we called, and we were like, hey, can you guys, we'd already bagged a couple deer. Probably time to move on.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, winds are too bad today. We're not going to be able to get you. We're like, yep, understood. It's not an emergency. Just we're kind of done hunting. Well, then that night, worst winds I've ever seen. I've ever hunted in my life.
Yeah.
Miraculously, our tent stayed up.
Was it pressing it down against you and you're holding it up?
We were both doing the whole arms out, holding this thing up. Luckily, my hunting buddy's like the most anal person I know, and so he'd insisted on day one we guy out every single one.
Oh, yeah.
It saved us, right?
Yeah,
the next morning, we called again. We're like, hey, weather's letting up. Can you guys get us? Like, was your tent standing? Like, yeah. Like, well, they recorded 98-mile-an-hour winds at Akiat, the nearest to us. Like, we've got 4 blown out tents we've got to pick up first. So,
Yeah.
Like, if we can get to you guys today, we will. But if you got a tent still standing, you're not the priority.
Yeah. Another tent day.
Yeah. What are some things that you think Kodiak needs? Like you'd love to see there. I know that we have you got the good cider there now.
Yeah.
But what is something that maybe this is something that maybe we could use?
Slowly but surely, the restaurant game's kind of stepping up. I always said it was a little unfortunate that Dutch had a better restaurant selection than Kodiak.
Okay.
So that's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, Noodles is legit in the sushi spot.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Nope.
Yeah.
Those are 2 of my regulars.
Yeah.
2 of your race. That's Monday and Tuesday.
And then that food truck that's in front of the brewery across the street from Double Shovel. That food truck is amazing.
And she is the sweetest lady.
Yeah.
Like we did, BHA did a invasive crawfish roundup in the river there, and she donated all the everything to come do a crawfish boil with her.
What's her food truck?
Millions Recipes.
Yeah. That one that you got to hit if you're ever in Kodiak. You just go to Double Shovel and walk across the street to it. It's a fucking bomb, dude. Philly cheese sandwich is what I get there.
I did see on your page the crawfish thing. Is that like an invasive species you guys went and gathered up and then you ate them?
Yeah, so they think as far back as 2000 or so, somebody introduced these signal crawfish to the Buskin River in Kodiak, and now there's thousands of them. Well, the red salmon run in the Buskin River has been really struggling. Now, they don't know if there's a correlation or not.
Okay.
But we've had strong red salmon run elsewhere on the island. We started it 2 years ago. We get BHA sponsors it. We partner with one of the local native organizations, and we go out and round up as many crawfish as we can. And we have a competition on which team gets the most, who gets the biggest, and it's a good, fun family event. And then we do a big crawfish boil at the end.
Has it been contained to that river?
So far, so good. Yeah,
okay.
That's the only river we're seeing them in.
Do you think that eventually you guys will wipe out that invasive species, or it's just been multiplying?
Yeah, the biologists say wiping out is not realistic, but if we can stay on top of the population, that'll help.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping ADF&G had a kind of well-intended but misguided policy that came out and said you cannot remove them from the riverbed or riverside. So all the crawfish we caught, we had to cook right there on the river.
Oh, wow.
To be legal. And
is that still in place?
Well, honestly, I meant to check because they were supposed to update it because the intent is obviously you're not removing the live ones and putting them somewhere else.
Right.
But if we can get that rule tweaked so that we can actually move them somewhere and have during Crab Fest this year, a big event.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We want to do a big crawfish cook-off and turn it into a real big.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Can you set traps for those things?
Yep. There's I got a trap from one of my coworkers who he got his taken by ADF&G.
Oh, really?
Because of that whole rule mess. Because you have to have a permit now, so we were operating under the Native Corps permit.
Oh, okay.
But his got taken, and so I used it for that one weekend. But I'm hoping they'll fix that. So we can,
similar to a shrimp trap, or
much smaller, but same concept.
Yeah, same kind of bait in it.
Cat food?
Yeah. I wonder if you just set those year round, how well that would do.
Couldn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they live through the cold.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all over the Midwest. Midwest is, Minnesota, Wyoming. Yeah. Those are cold places. So I don't know, if it's the exact same species, but in Kodiak's not that. It's pretty temperate. It's living in Seattle,
Yeah. I'm curious on, because I know that Crab Fest event is like Kodiak's like main huge thing, and then with the closure of a lot of the crab fisheries, how that event is going to look.
Well, let's be honest, Kodiak hasn't had crabs since like the 80s. So
okay.
They call it Crab Fest, but like there's one boat that like does like a pity visit with crab for the weekend. So I mean, obviously Tanner's stuff, but we're talking king crabs.
Yeah.
That hasn't been in Kodiak.
Right.
That's funny. Kodiak was the biggest king crab fishery in the state in the 80s.
Yeah.
Did it
got fished out.
Did it just get fished out?
That's what the fishermen say.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, my grandparents are Homer natives, and they say back in the 60s and 70s you could get king crab right out in Kachemak.
Oh yeah,
I believe it.
And that, like, they have that king crab in the case, and that was a king crab out of Kachemak Bay, like right toward the end. And they saved that particular crab to hang in their bar because they knew that was the end of an era. And it's kind of a heartbreaking, isn't it? I mean, I guess we just couldn't help ourselves. Is that kind of what it comes down to?
We're overfishing the whole planet, you know.
Good point.
And I think that it's just going to get worse. There is some other stuff that I don't think like we have enough data on. There's these, just like with big game, there's these like macro life cycles. And so like the pollock and the crab are closely related in some of the other bottom fish. And so right now they're, you know, I'm not an expert on it, but it's the most Tanner crabs they've seen in Kodiak since what, 1986. And so,
they're just rich right now.
And they're seeing it directly connected to pollock. So right now there's not as many pollock as there had been, and so now all those young crabs can get bigger. So we know
because the pollock are not wiping them out.
Right, and other fish, right?
Sure,
other bottom feeding fish. So it's like there's this macro life cycle that we're not aware of. We're just kind of aware of the overfishing.
Like how like rabbits and lynx will like influx, right?
Yeah. And big game in Alaska is supposed to be 25 years, but they're trying to keep that flat for us.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Well, that was, you know, like the whole Bering Sea crab crash. Like that was, I sat through a NOAA presentation on it, and there's no doubt a ton of different factors that went into it, but that's one of the theories is if you look at the sea ice and where it normally was and where the juvenile crab are, they sit under the sea ice. Well, then that sea ice didn't exist for a couple winters, which allowed the pollock to go up and feed on them, and it decimated that cohort of juvenile crab.
Okay. Hence why we have a closure now.
Right.
How long do they take to get to a mature age where you can harvest them?
That you'd have to. I'm no biologist.
I'm just asking everybody in general. Like, does anybody know
I'd
that?
have to Google that.
Yeah, no, actually, I mean, it just came to me. I'm like, you say juvenile crab, like, how long does it take to even get?
I just measure their backs.
That's all you need to know.
that was legit.
Let's jump into some of your, you know, as Jack has young kids and I have young kids, and so does Brandon, and you know, we're trying to get our kids into archery and into hunting, and my son last year applied for his first time for his youth hunt. Brandon's daughter has been lucky enough to win some of the permits, and we've been on youth hunts, and my son and Jack's kids, they've been on hunts, you know, as they are old enough to go and be safe. And so what kind of inspired you to get into not only teaching your own kids, but I mean, you're teaching other people's kids as well?
Yeah, so when I left Kodiak the first time, I was moving out to DC, and I looked at the hunting regs and realized you can't really shoot a rifle east of the Blue Ridge Mountains. I was like, I love hunting. If I'm going to hunt, probably going to need to figure out another way to do it, right? So I went to Full Curl and got set up with a great bow, and spent the next 6 months learning how to shoot archery, and I fell in love with it, right? It's just, I mean, I love hunting in general, but archery hunting is just a whole new, like, you know, where your hunt normally ends with the rifle, this is where your hunt begins with the bow.
Yeah.
And so coming back to Kodiak, you know, the opportunity to teach others, like I bought my daughter a bow as soon as she was old enough to pull the string. And a friend of mine, you know, he's talking about getting his daughter into it, and I learned this school called the National Archery in Schools Program. ADF&G sponsors it. They give free training. It's in some of those schools, you know, throughout the state. A lot of schools have it. And so I went up, got trained up in it, and then at some point my daughter's school had already had it because they already had the full set. You know, the bows and everything.
Nice.
And so,
way cool.
Yeah, we ran a session of it, and then COVID, hit, and they shut it all down. But then, so I went and got trained, pretty much the exact same training, but of course, everybody's insurance requirements are slightly different. So I've been doing 4-H archery because that stayed open for the last couple years as well. And it's just, man, I tell you, like, you get a kid, you always start them off as close to the target, within a few feet of the target, so they're hitting it, so they don't get discouraged. But by the end of a 4-week session, they're having balloon shoots or playing tic-tac-toe, and it's just so fun to watch that progress and watch these kids develop a passion for it. Like some of my daughter's friends who I've taught to shoot are like, every time they see me, they're talking about what they're doing with their bows, and it's rewarding. I tell you, if you ever got into it, you'd understand why.
Yeah. Oh, I totally get it, man. I mean, you introduce something the kids get passionate about, it just explodes, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite pictures we got at our house is my daughter was doing her ballet dress rehearsal or whatever, and she came back. It was a beautiful spring day. She's like, "Hey, let's shoot." And so I've got a picture of her in her ballet bun, tutu and everything, shooting her bow in the front
Get a couple
yard.
reps in, Dad. I just need to get my reps in today. Our boy Chad here, man, he's at his shop every night. Right now, he can't really go to any ranges, but I'm jealous because I don't have anywhere to shoot other than going to an archery spot. But I miss not being able to go in the backyard right now and shoot, and it's killing me. I was shooting every day all summer long, and then the snow hit, and I haven't shot in probably 2 months now. So
I'm blessed that the basement of my house has is a straight shot
so
through.
lucky, man.
It's beautiful. I won't let the kids shoot down 26.
Nice.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah, it's just
awesome, right?
Yeah, it just happens to be the whole length downstairs. But the kids aren't old enough to shoot in there yet. But shout out to the Muni has their free shoot on Sundays. Well, I guess they charge $5, but if you show up, you might not get charged. But they teach kids at the Kincaid bow range, and it's pretty rad.
So the Kincaid range is still open all winter long?
It's not. It's open for you to go into, but they don't, manage.
They're not
the targets
managing and
stuff.
cleaning it up. Okay,
Right. So you got to bring in your own targets in the winter.
But everybody's probably got tracks and trails like.
No, people are using it every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
I gotta go knock the rust off.
Yeah, my youngest is really into the bow, and he made the big brother want to go get a bow, and so now they're totally into it, and I'm waiting to go see Chris over there at Screaming Eagle to go get my bow.
Shout out, Chris.
It's just funny that my kids are into something I've been wanting to get into, but I was like, well, let me get them into it, and then it's something that us three can go do.
Yeah.
And then we'll work on mom. We'll get mom in there.
That's right.
My wife got her first blacktail with a bow this year.
Oh man,
right
that's
on.
so cool.
Congrats to her.
What's the story?
Dude.
It's a good one.
All right, let's hear it.
We had a couple neighborhood deer that were eating all the gardens and stuff right before every year right at the opening of the season they disappear.
Yeah.
And
It's weird how they do that.
Yeah, chewing on her garden. She's like, that fucker comes back once the season's open. He's down.
Yeah.
And I'm driving home from work, and I see that
personal.
I see the deer in my neighbor's driveway, and I called him. I was like, hey, that deer is in your driveway. If you wanna stick it. He's like, I'm going to hold on to my tag. You only get one road system tag. I'm going to hold on to my tag for a bit. He's like, Jess wants to go for it. And I'm like, hey, baby, go get your bow. And so she's in her work clothes. She walks up, shoots this thing in the driveway. Took it up to his shop, butchered it. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's fantastic. Right in the driveway?
Yep.
Oh, man.
And the flowers will be back next year now.
Right.
Yeah, they will.
She's going to expect the same thing next time.
Was it a mature buck, too?
Yeah, it was a little fork.
Okay. I'm still being an asshole, though, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what size he is. If he's eating my strawberries, he's going.
That's right.
So if you've lived in a South Central city area and you see moose, maybe once a week, right? Whether it's in your neighborhood or on the road, how frequently do you actually see deer living in Kodiak? Almost daily? Or?
It depends on their cycle. They're so susceptible to winter kill.
Yeah.
They're in 2018, you'd see them every single day. And then we had a pretty rough winter, and now they've rebounded pretty well.
Was 18 the winter when there was no snow in Kodiak? I went deer hunting in Kodiak. That was that November trip. And on Thanksgiving Day, I was hunting in a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I think that was a mild winter, wasn't it?
Well, but it was the into the early 2019. Everything iced over.
Okay.
And
there was no access to food.
Right.
Wiped them out.
Yeah. And it wasn't nearly as bad as the 2011 die off.
All right.
But it was still it made a noticeable difference.
Okay.
But there's still plenty of deer.
Sure.
2011 the winter 2011 and 2012. The biologists were estimating 78% or something had died, and it was noticeable. And you could put in a full hunt and get lucky to get on a little fork.
Oh wow! Now, did you guys? Was there a reduction in tags? Then it was still the same amount of tags given, but they just weren't getting filled.
Yeah. So one of the biologists told me every time they've got to where they're considering kind of changing the tags, the environment makes a correction.
Yeah.
And so 1 on the road system, 3 off has worked.
Yeah. That makes sense. Because then that one's pretty easy to access, but then the others you gotta go ride, or you gotta go run a boat, or go for a hike.
Right.
Or the other 3. Yeah.
I'm curious on, as you live in Kodiak, your interaction with all those bears in town, and as you drive around, and I send my kids off, to the local hill to go sledding in the local park. I mean, there's got to be some sort of, more trepidation to let that happen. Is it they're more outside of the town and you're not worried about it, or is that always in the back of your head?
It's an issue. I always thought I'd wait till my daughter was in high school before she got a phone, but she started walking home this year, and so now she's got a cell phone because
just in case.
Yeah, and they've got a good program. They notify if bears are seen. They send out alerts and stuff.
Okay.
The schools do. But yeah, they're always out there. It's not something you that totally changes your life, other than you're really deliberate with your trash.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some interesting bear stories there. I had a buddy come visit, and when I gave him my truck for the day, I came home and he's filleting fish on my tailgate. And I was like, hey, you can bring that in the kitchen, man. It's fine. And he's like, oh, I don't mind doing it out here. I don't want to make a mess of your kitchen. It's like, oh, well, no, it's really fine if you go in the kitchen.
We prefer it in there.
Yeah. That night, a bear chewed my bumper off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
he sprayed the tailgate real well,
Yeah.
And when he lifted it, all that poured down into the bumper.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And it lured him right in.
Yeah. That was a lesson learned, but.
You guys got the bear-proof cans?
We
out
don't,
there too.
actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Huh.
It's kind of a contentious issue.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, just because, we have so many problems with trash bears.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet we don't have them. People get pissed off.
Yeah. I guess, what's the opposition to getting them? Just the cost
I don't know
of
that
paying
they're
money?
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably ultimately what the main
we
issue
need them in
is,
Girdwood,
shit, you need them in South on the hillside.
Yeah. For sure.
I've even got folks in my neighborhood that have them, which, I haven't seen a bear get anybody's trash, but I saw, for the first time this year, I saw a bear scat in a yard twice in town. And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
It was nocturnal, so they came through at night. Yeah. But it still was kind of like, shit, man, my kids ride their bikes up and down. It just kind of...
Yeah. They're all over town. We had bears going through the Little League field down in Turnagain this year. So.
Well, yeah, and then you got the Kodiak angle where it's a little bit more rural.
And a lot bigger bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jack, did you got a trivia?
I do
lined
have
up?
trivia.
Okay, as you bring that up, as you work that, I kind of want you to explain your role with BHA.
Okay.
And maybe some of your goals within that role.
Yeah, no, thanks for asking. So I'm the chair of the Alaska State Chapter. It's a volunteer position, 3-year term. I'm in my 2nd year of it.
Nice.
In, 2017, I think, the House filed a bill to turn over, all BLM land to states. And that was what got my interest in BHA, I was like, holy shit, we got an amendment that protects our right to have guns, but we're a simple majority away from potentially losing the land we used to hunt with them. and that really caught my eye. And BHA was one of the most vocal, like in the front of that fight organizations.
Yeah.
And that was what really, got me interested. I joined that year. And then I went out east, and I always say, like, the problem with Alaska is we're spoiled. We've got so much access. It's something people don't think about that much. Yeah. And yet I go out east to Virginia, and I'm literally hunting in, like, millionaires' backyards. Yeah. That's where I can go to hunt. People get pissed off because they wreck their Mercedes on a deer, and they're like, "Fuck, you can hunt in my yard." But that's where we hunt.
Yep.
Because there's no public land, or very little. And so coming back to Alaska this time, I was like, man, we're so lucky. We don't know how good we have it. I want to be part of something fighting to make sure we maintain it. So that's what got me into BHA. And as chair of the chapter, I don't have, we've got a ton of brilliant people, and I'm not one of them. They're so smart on, like, the policy and the biology. And, I look at, like, what can I do to help that? Because I'm not going to meet them at their level.
Right.
So to me, it's this stuff, right? It's getting that message out, because, I always tell the rest of the chapter, like, we've got some really amazing, motivated people, but there's not a ton of us. And numbers are what speak. When you start talking to the politicians, if you come representing 1,500, 2,000 people in the state of Alaska, that's a big deal. But if you're only representing 100 people in the state of Alaska, you're not going to get a seat. And, I'm sure you guys have heard, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu.
Right on.
Oh, that's a great point, and you're taking an opportunity to actually be part of the solution, right?
Right.
Like, do something about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I understand. I grew up here. We all did, right? Like, we're all kind of arm's length with the federal government, and that's one of the things that makes it tough to sell the BHA message up here. Is we're in favor of federal lands, but you look at American history, and I can't, you can't quote me on the number, but like 90% of federal land that's been turned over to states has subsequently been privatized. So, like, while the federal government is not always a great partner, at least that's land we can access, and our kids can access, and their kids. Yep. Once it goes to the state, how's the state going to balance a, budget if they've got $1 billion deficit? Either take it out of PFD or sell off a bunch of land. Yeah. What's the easy button there, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's tough when you live here and you're all for a solid budget in the state that you live in, and providing funds for roads and access to really these public areas when you think about it that way. But at the same time, you don't want to see lands ever get privatized, especially if they're areas that you recreated,
right,
and they have a history and a soft spot in your heart. Not that that's what the politicians are going to hear, but as Alaskans, that's what we value, right? And so it's a great point. Like, these have to be protected, man.
About 8 years ago, I did a 124-mile raft trip down the Wild River, which is anything but wild, up near the Koyukuk.
Okay.
Gambler Road goes through. That trip where we didn't see another human being is going to be bisected by a mining road,
Yeah.
Like, that's that's not what I want to see.
You're going to float it through and under a bridge where there's a big cat tractor driving over the top of it? Yeah. Kind of takes away from the fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, thanks for what you're doing. Are you going to run again when you're how does that work? Or can you get voted back in, or do you have to do a rotation and come back 3 years later? Or
no, the godfather of Alaska BHA is here tonight. His name's Barry Whitehill.
Barry, man, I met him earlier.
Yeah,
He's a beauty.
He is. He was probably president of the chapter for like 15 years.
Nice.
Okay.
I think I'm probably the first one in 15 years other than him.
Okay.
But it's so nice having that wealth of knowledge available. He stayed on as vice president because I was new to it, and I'd like to stay with it. I'm spread pretty thin right now, but
I bet you are.
I'm looking to offload a couple of things, and BHA is not one of them.
Good for you.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
that's great.
So only so many hours in the day, right?
Right, and it's tough,
And you live in Kodiak, and
you got kids, and you want to spend time with them.
That's right. So are you looking for more help? Are there people out there, like some of our listeners, that could help give a hand? Or?
Oh, we'll never say no to help. Gosh, like I said, if my goal, I've said since the day I was made chair of the chapter, if I can go to Juneau and say I represent 1,500 sportsmen, like that gets us into anyone's office.
Yeah.
And they'll be listening to what we have to say.
Yeah.
We'll get there, man.
Yeah.
A little preface on this trivia. I think we've got 2 answers correct out of 100 so far.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So no pressure.
Yeah. All right.
Dave,
Yeah.
got this.
And then
You
I've
sure you
always
don't wanna
been
give me
fun
another beer
though. We
first?
always learn something. All right.
We
So today we're talking about Kodiak, and one of the things is the crab. So I wanted to know what the world record crab size was for king crab, and I had no idea. So I looked it up, I googled it, and then I reconfirmed it. So what's the largest king crab ever?
If I could just ask a general question, this kind of
Commercial
goes.
or rec?
This goes into maybe like against the rules of the trivia. What's an average mature-sized king crab?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
Now, are we talking length?
If you think about like when you go get the 10-pound box, from Costco, you got, and that's not the biggest one. That's probably average, and it usually has like about a full crab in it, and that's 10 pounds.
Well, my thought process on that question was to give me perspective on like what an average sized crab was, so that I could go, oh wow, that's an average size. So a world record should be like this big, because an average king salmon is what, like 22 pounds. Right.
Well,
but you can
in Central
there's like 70
Alaska,
pounders, right? Like so.
Yeah.
Give me something.
Yeah, but if you go southeast, they're like 16. So.
But,
okay, so you're looking for a poundage.
Yeah. So in
pounds.
weight in pounds.
Pounds.
Okay.
There we go.
My bad.
Okay.
How many pounds?
All right.
And so like the Costco one, without the gill plate, without all that, it's I don't know, 10 pounds.
I'm going to go...
Oh, you can't go over. It's Bob Barker style.
I'm going to go 18.
18?
26.
$1. How about 24?
Oh, yeah. You nailed it. It's exactly 24
Oh
pounds.
shit!
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
He just let us suckers just like Oh,
You win a BHA membership.
Onyx for a year.
All right. If you know the answer to this one, just answer it last, okay? So what's the largest fishing fleet harbor in the United States? Where's it located?
Dutch Harbor.
I feel like I want to say somewhere in California. And that sounds crazy, but it just seems like there'd be.
Long Beach.
I feel like I don't. Yeah, sure. Like, California
Long
somewhere.
Beach.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that one. Not even gonna throw it out.
You didn't pick up on the hint?
I mean Dutch. I mean it makes sense, but
He told you when he asked me not to answer.
Yeah.
Kodiak.
Okay.
So it's
Thanks,
Dutch.
Dave.
It's Dutch.
But this year it's Kodiak.
Okay, are you talking volume or are you talking number of vessels?
Number of vessels.
So Kodiak has more permanently assigned vessels.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I know that
Okay.
this year for sure they do, but in the on a normal year, I thought it was Dutch.
So real quick,
So it must be on volume.
Yeah, volume. Dutch is always like almost always by volume.
Yeah.
By volume of fish landed the number one harbor,
Yeah.
but Kodiak's got the largest fleet in the
Okay.
country.
It's amazing. Have you guys been to the harbor at Kodiak?
yes, I have, and
I
that's where all
haven't
the
yet to go
boats
to
base,
Kodiak.
right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then they go out of Kodiak and go around into Dutch. Hence the volume
Yeah,
part.
yeah, that makes
but
sense.
they're based in Kodiak.
Yeah.
Is Homer kind of a close second?
No, because Homer has almost no fishing fleet left.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Oh, okay.
The private harbor in
I mean, I see a lot of crab boats in Homer, though.
I mean, there's some, but compared to compared to the 80s and 90s, both Homer and Seward have really kind of flushed out most of their fishing boats.
Sure.
So you got to go next time you're there. Go
This is too
over
far,
the
huh?
Near Island Bridge in Kodiak.
Yes.
And then drop down over there. There's a whole nother harbor that's bigger than the other harbor.
That's where all the commercial boats are.
Yeah, and that's where the commercial boats are. And it's like
I've
it's
seen all their towers
crazy.
sticking up over there.
Yeah, it's like it dwarfs anything you've ever. And then these massive 100-foot boats on shore.
Yeah, we got 608 slips.
Oh, wow. That's a
So
lot.
then in volume, the second biggest one is that Cape Cod in Massachusetts.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's like, I think what, the state, that's always been like
Not
that
quite
famous.
California, but
Yeah,
the
that
other
famous
side.
like lobster one.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't think about that.
okay.
The East Coast, huge.
So, I really respect the Coast Guard, and I really love that they have such a mega presence in Alaska. I wish they had some in Whittier, but they don't. How many Coasties, enlisted and officers, are in Kodiak? Don't go over a number of people.
22.
enlisted.
Enlisted and officers. So the total Coast Guard presence in terms of people, how many? What's the total sum of them in Kodiak?
150.
I want to say it's like 900.
It's 602. So it's the biggest Coast Guard base in the United States.
You went over. I went on.
I was way
one.
low.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's huge.
I was thinking like how many people work for the Coast Guard there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
600?
It's crazy.
bro.
Yeah.
There's like 800 people in Kodiak total.
I'm gonna shame you.
There was
it's
like
the
300
Coast
just
Guard
at the air
makeup.
station.
Really?
Yeah.
It's our base in Alaska, right? Like, there's not. It's until Sitka that you get another big base.
That many?
So they do all of like South Central's all Kodiak people. Like if we have problems out in the Sound, it's Kodiak or Sitka, whoever can get there faster.
Valdez is the main Prince William Sound first responder, right?
They've got a boat station there, yeah.
Why does Whittier not have a boat? What is with that?
Because the Coast Guard, pure speculation, right?
Sure.
But I would imagine it's because Whittier was nothing until the tunnel was open to vehicle traffic in the late 90s, and the Coast Guard hasn't really grown in that mission set since then.
Okay.
And so unfortunately most of where they're located is based off what was needed in like the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a legit question. They do have auxiliary units there, but they don't really do search and rescue. I mean, I've picked up waylaid hunters out of Whittier before.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
And you flew out of Kodiak into Whittier to go out in a boat? Is that what ended up happening?
No, so during the summer, from like Labor Day or Memorial Day to Labor Day, there's a Coast Guard helicopter is left in Cordova.
Okay.
And so I was out there, and there were some
okay.
hunters who swamped their boat trying to get back into Whittier, and we went and picked them up off the shore.
Which was a quick hop out of Cordova right over. Yeah. I just wondered because the public access presence of Whittier,
Totally.
I feel like would give. We talk about like the assholes that buy a boat that don't know what they're doing thing. That like there's more of I think of those people that are buying boats and dunking them in Whittier and going out to the Sound because it's closest to Anchorage and Wasilla. That you would think by process of error, there's just more room for error with lots of rookie boaters out there.
Right.
That you would want. I guess like what the state troopers are probably the presence.
No, it's really. I mean, the Coast Guard. I mean, if you're talking maritime rescue, it's generally going to be the Coast Guard.
It's going to be Coast Guard out of Valdez.
Well, they can get. If you're talking helicopters, I mean, they can get from Kodiak to Whittier in an hour.
Okay.
Just over. I mean, it's pretty quick. And
Yep.
Yeah, you talk about. My dad's got a Coast Guard punch card for the number of times he's been rescued. So.
And that's out of Seward?
Whittier.
Oh, Whittier, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I ask this question, the response I get from like the Whittier, long-standing Whittier people is that, hey, we had lazy otter and we still have them, but now you have Ceto. And so it's like if you have an emergency, like the chopper will get to you. But Ceto is who you use, and they're like, set an anchor, he'll come. And so
boat's dead in the water.
Right, and so it's like I think 99% of the people there, including myself, have a Ceto membership for that reason.
Yep.
And I mean, Ceto will pull you if you run out of gas for free.
What?
Yes.
But you got to pay the membership.
Yeah. So it's like whatever, $99 a year.
Well, that's worth it.
Oh yeah, $99 a year, and you get pulled in for free.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it like the maritime rule to if there's like a boat in distress that the most close boat, commercial or what's the word I'm looking
Recreational.
for? Recreational. Go to the aid of that boat. Isn't that kind of the maritime?
it's not a rule. I think it's like you
No, I
try
mean,
to
it's like
help.
it's like
the
it's
good
like an it's an
Samaritan.
etiquette of boating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
So I've heard distress calls in the past, and it's always commercial boats that go to that boat.
Yep.
They don't even balk. They just like, I'm en route, boom,
Yeah.
going to that person's aid.
I was at a Dutch a couple years ago, and there's a crabber that sank, and we flew over another, like on our way to them, we flew over a boat that was like full tilt, trying to get to him to help.
Oh,
That's
okay.
like, we got on scene, they're 15 minutes behind us. We're like, hey, are you guys all, they're all on the raft. Like, you guys safe? And we're like, yep. Like, all right, we'll just wait for the boat. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because let them get them.
yeah,
in
it's
that
a lot
boat.
safer to have them climb a ladder up to the boat than try to hoist them out of the water.
Okay. So you gauge those situations by the surrounding response.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what, when you were talking about earlier, like that's where I think I was pretty good at it. Was
Yeah.
That, younger, less experienced people that they want so bad to get that.
Yeah.
They'll try.
Yeah, they train and they want to like exercise
You wanna
the
show it,
training
right?
and
Yeah.
And
And you get a little
out
older
there
and
and
you're
he's
like,
like, these guys are eating steaks. They're fine.
the best you'll ever get out there is the fire, what we call the fired medevacs. They call in and say someone's, chest pain is one you always respond to, right?
Oh, sure.
Like, oh, we got a crewman having chest pain. And you get out there and
He's just hungover.
you're lowering it down, and they come out with their little roller suitcase because they got fired.
Oh no.
That really doesn't happen much anymore, but it was kind of a thing for a while.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Greenhorn got kicked out of there.
Right.
Cardiac arrest.
It's expensive to pull that boat in and lose a few days fishing,
Yeah.
Oh, it
yeah,
is.
for sure. Yeah. Wow. But then the risk, like, if you're flying in bad weather and stuff, to everyone on board of that chopper.
Well, and that, like I said, that was a different era. That doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
It's largely professionals out there, and
Yeah. Like, you don't take anybody out that's going to get fired on the spot to get helicoptered out anymore.
there's a lot of over the last 20 years, a lot of mutual respect's been developed, and the crabbers
Sure.
treat us well, and we respect what they do. So the games are kind of over.
Yeah. See through the crap.
I got a couple last minute kind of quick fire questions before we go into the last break, and then we have Adam come on and announce the winner of the giveaway there. Bucket list adventure for 2023.
This is the year I'm drawing that sheep tag.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which one's that?
What is it? 141, the archery, sheep
Okay.
tag archery.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been putting in. I've been putting in for sheep tags now for 15 years, so I'm due.
You're ready.
Appreciate your enthusiasm, man. He's like, I'm drawing it. Like, my name it's pretty much already drawn.
Yeah.
Good for you. Have you gotten close enough to a sheep at this point?
I've never drawn a tag.
Have you ever sheep hunted?
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
Oh, you're in for one.
But my
Just
buddy,
going to go full
buddy's a
send on
guide.
the first run?
My buddy's a guide and
Okay.
sheep guide, and he's like, if you draw that tag, he's like, I will drop what
Call
I'm doing.
me.
No,
we're gonna go get it.
Super cool.
So-
Good for you.
He's the
Favorite
guy whose daughter I taught to shoot.
Oh, that's
Okay,
awesome.
perfect.
favorite game meat.
Moose.
Moose.
Good
Got
call.
it. Salmon or halibut.
Salmon.
Oh, nice.
Bear spray or pistol.
Bear spray.
Or flare. The Coast Guard's like, they use the flare.
Does the horn ever really work?
My kids have a horn in their treehouse. So
Okay.
I think it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Is that horn more or less to tell you, Dad, that we see a bear?
Yeah.
I mean, I just wondered if you got a bear within like 10 yards away and you blew that horn.
Yeah.
Do you think it might actually make it turn around?
I think it would at least slow it down.
maybe like make it pause for a second.
When he gets real close, you just cup it over its ear.
But to elaborate on the bear spray pistol question, if I'm backcountry, it's a pistol. The bear spray, like I've read a ton of research on it. Like the bear spray is, and one of my best friends went through a canister of it, and his experience reflected the research. Bear spray is incredibly effective, but they will circle back once they've been sprayed if they have time. And that's what happened to him. He was way backcountry, and he emptied a canister on a bear, and it worked great. The bear took off, but he was, 20 miles inland or something.
Oh,
and,
once it shook it off, it came back.
looking for him.
Yeah. Well, Dave, we appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate BHA hosting this night with us, and all the things that you guys are doing. And we know that you had a early morning flight coming in here and a full day. So thank you for what you're doing. And anybody that's listening, do what you can to support BHA, because they're fighting for not only Alaskans' rights, but everyone's rights in the United States for all the public land that we deserve to have.
That's 48 states strong, right?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, Dave. Thanks for your time, man.
Yep. We'll be right back, guys.
Tailored Restoration, 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you at any time, day or night. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Since 2008, Serrano's is Anchorage's own new generation of old cocina. Their menu showcases the passion and love of their rich heritage and unique family recipes that have been passed down through the generations. Serrano's goal is to embrace and display trad flavors using the best ingredients that are available. They focus on making everything from scratch daily. In-house menu includes handcrafted corn tortillas, salsas, carne asada, and chorizo. But don't take their word for it. Experience their tradition and sabor for yourself. Locations on Tudor and Northern Lights, both with new tequila bars. Check out their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
The Connoisseur Lounge, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. The Connoisseur Lounge is Palmer's first locally owned and operated cannabis retailer. Their beautiful store is located at 226 Evergreen Avenue. The Connoisseur Lounge has exclusive cannabis products such as Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and one of our favorites, Sugar Cookies. And if you're not into the flower, the Connoisseur can hook you up with edibles, vape supplies, and a ton of CBD options for all your health and inflammation needs. Check out their daily deals at theconnoisseurlounge.net, or even better, stop by the lounge today. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store.
There you go.
I want to just say thank you once again to all the BHA people and all the people that came out here. We have Adam from Fishhound Expeditions. He's going to announce the winner of the float trip for 2.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're going to take a little video. If you are catching this late and you're not sure if you won, it'll be on our Instagram, and I'm sure it'll be on BH's Instagram and all that stuff as well. So thank you again for all the people that came out tonight. It was a wonderful night. Thank you to the Palmer Alehouse, BHA, and all the people that gave away stuff. Adam, thanks for jumping on with us really quick.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I have that mic a little closer to you there. I'm going to do a little video, too, so that when we do the announcement, it could be out on Instagram, and people, I'm sure, will get the email as far as on the podcast as well. So you're not nervous in front of the camera, are you?
No, bud, all good.
Okay. All right, good. Let me get you here. So we're doing the giveaway for the trip for 2, correct?
Yep.
And how did you choose the winner?
I have no idea. I'm just the one reading the list here. I've been drinking beer, listening to you guys lap the whole time. So
Hey, real quick before we do the giveaway, we probably want to have the room get quiet so they can hear it. Because right now they will not be able to hear it over the speaker. So
I think everyone's drinking beer and eating food right now.
I know. I could bark. James could bark.
Do you think we should quiet it down really quick, or do you think that
real quick? We'll just get everybody to give us a quick second.
Okay,
You guys ready?
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Where'd James go? Hey, James.
So we're about to have some draw winners here.
Mark it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, Fishhound Expeditions, huh?
James, you can get loud if you want.
Oh, are we good?
We're good.
Well, shit, okay. All right.
All
right. We got winners.
All right. Adam, you ready?
Yeah. All right, let's get the phone.
Oh, yeah, Adam's about to go.
Thank you for everyone for coming out as well and spending some of your hard-earned money over here at the Palmer House, supporting BHA. This is one of our first live podcasts, and hopefully there'll be more to come, and we will improve as we continue to do this. Thank you for sticking through this. I know it's a little hot in here, a little cramped, a little loud, maybe not loud enough for everyone listening, but thank you, everyone, for sticking it out.
All right, so we got the first winner here. You win an NRS Chinook Life Vest, which is a very good life vest. We got Alex Roy.
Alex Roy, congratulations.
Alex Roy, you here?
And for another awesome NRS Chinook Life Vest, we got Dave Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dave. Oh, that might be a setup. I don't know.
Harbor.
He's got plenty of those.
All right, up next for an awesome Mystery Ranch S250 pack, we got George. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation here. Geis? G-E-I-G-E-S?
Georgie?
Old Georgie, yeah.
Georgie.
All right, Georgie. Good pack. And this is something I'm familiar with, the Fish Pond S400.
It's a dollar sign.
$400, not the S400. So familiar.
Nice.
We got Jennifer Durbin.
Jennifer Durbin. All right.
Jennifer? Yep. All right. We got winners.
And then for the Grundens $400 store credit, we got Rob Paybell.
Rob Paybell.
There
it is.
He's getting dirty in those.
It's a winner.
And then who's coming fishing with us? We got Ken Dunlop coming on.
Ken Dunlop.
All right, Kenny.
Ken Dunlop here.
All right, Ken. That's the top notch.
Excellent. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming out, supporting BHA. All these raffle tickets go to benefit BHA and getting veterans out fishing and hunting. So they're going to a very good cause, not just lining your boys' pockets. So thank you guys.
Right on. And as always, Alaska. As always.
Stay wild, Alaska.
You remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Arbor Digital, the forefront of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and wealth management, providing a low-cost, research-based investment strategy for Alaskans looking to invest their hard-earned money. Visit arborcapital.io today to put your money to work.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
Serrano's Mexican Grill, 2 locations, one on Tudor, one on Northern Lights. The Northern Lights location has their new tequila bar. Check it out. Also see their daily specials at serranosmexicangrill.com.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
The Connoisseur Lounge, Alaska's premier locally owned and operated cannabis retailer, located in the heart of Palmer, Alaska. Their cultivated products include Snowcap Romance, Aurora Haze, Super Glue, and much more. Find them at theconnoisseurlounge.net.
AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and over. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Snow Pro AK, your snow and ice management company specializing in business and residential properties. They know what it takes to keep your property presentable and safe. Give them a call for a free estimate at 280-7098 or visit lawnproak.com. Double Shovel Cider Company, located off of Arctic and 58th. Handcrafted Alaskan-made colonial ciders. They also have a tap room downtown on the corner of 5th and E. Stop by today and taste an award-winning cider.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Should you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly.